This is the story of a man named Daniel, and I am going to tell you about the nightmare that followed him, a shadow that never left his side. Listen carefully, because this story might make you wonder if you're truly alone. Daniel was an ordinary man living in an ordinary town. He had a job at a local bookstore, a small apartment, and no family to call his own. Life was simple, almost too simple. That was until the day he first noticed it, the shadow. It was late at night, and he was walking home after work. The streets were empty, and the cold wind howled through the narrow alleys. As he passed under a street lamp, he saw his shadow stretch across the pavement. But then, something strange happened. There was another shadow, just beside his own. It moved when he moved, but it was slightly delayed, like it was struggling to keep up. He stopped. The shadow stopped. He turned around. Nothing was there. He shook his head, blaming exhaustion, and walked faster. But the feeling never left him. Every night after that, he noticed it again. No matter where he was, the shadow followed him. It never had a clear shape, just a dark, twisted figure that clung to him like a second skin. He tried to ignore it, but it became impossible when strange things started happening. One night, he woke up gasping for air. It felt like someone was sitting on his chest, pressing down with invisible hands. He could see the shadow on his bedroom wall, shifting and pulsing as if it were alive. He closed his eyes and whispered to himself, "It's just a dream. It's just a dream." But deep down, he knew it wasn't. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel began losing sleep. His co-workers noticed his pale face and dark circles, but he didn't dare tell them the truth. Who would believe him? He started seeing the shadow even in daylight. It slithered across walls, crawled under doors, and waited for him in dark corners. He could feel its presence, like cold fingers brushing against his skin. Then, one night, everything changed. Daniel decided he had enough. He needed answers. He searched online for similar experiences, and one name kept appearing: Dr. Henry Faulkner, a paranormal researcher. Desperate, Daniel found his address and went to see him. The old man listened patiently as Daniel told his story, nodding as if he had heard it all before. "You're not the first, and you won't be the last," Dr. Faulkner said, his voice grave. "These shadows, they attach themselves to people. Some say they are spirits, others believe they are something older, something darker. But one thing is certain, they don't leave willingly." Daniel's hands trembled. "How do I get rid of it?" The doctor hesitated. "You must confront it, acknowledge it. Shadows feed on fear, but if you stand your ground, they lose their power. But be warned, if you fail, it will consume you." That night, Daniel sat in his apartment, all lights off. He could feel the darkness around him, thick and heavy. Then, he spoke. "I know you're here." The room grew colder. "You've followed me long enough. I am not afraid of you." A low whisper filled the air, like 100 voices murmuring at once. The shadow began to take shape. A tall, twisted figure with hollow eyes. It loomed over. Him, its form shifting like smoke. Daniel's heart pounded, but he didn't look away. "Leave. Now." The shadow let out a terrible screech, and for the first time, Daniel saw it recoil. It flickered, shrinking, fading. Then, with one final wail, it vanished into the darkness. Silence. For the first time in months, Daniel felt light. The air in his apartment was no longer suffocating. The nightmare was over. Or so he thought. Days passed, and Daniel felt free. No shadow, no whispers, no cold presence lurking in the dark. But one evening, as he walked home, he passed by a street lamp and froze. There, beside his shadow, was another one. And this time, it was smiling. Daniel's heart pounded as he stood there, unable to move. The smile on the shadow wasn't natural. It was stretched, too wide, too knowing. It wasn't gone. It had never left. It had only been waiting. Panicking, Daniel ran to his apartment, slamming the door shut behind him. He turned on every light, hoping to drown out the darkness. But as he stood there, panting, he realized something terrifying. Shadows didn't need darkness anymore. The shadow was right there, in the brightest corner of his room, waiting. His phone rang, startling him. It was Dr. Faulkner. "Daniel, listen to me. It's still with you, isn't it?" Daniel's throat was dry. "Yes," he whispered. The doctor sighed heavily. "It's stronger now. Confronting it didn't destroy it. It only made it aware that you know it exists. And now it won't just follow you. It will try to take you." The lights in Daniel's apartment flickered. The temperature dropped. He could hear whispering all around him, voices calling his name. "What do I do?" he pleaded. "You need to leave. Get out of your apartment. Find a place with no shadows if such a thing exists. You have to keep moving. If it catches you..." The line went dead. A cold breath touched Daniel's ear. He turned slowly. The shadow stood right behind him, its hollow eyes staring into his soul. Its smile widened, revealing rows of jagged, blackened teeth. Daniel couldn't scream. He couldn't move. It reached out, its long, claw-like fingers stretching toward him. Everything went black. Days later, the landlord knocked on Daniel's door, concerned that he hadn't seen him in days. When no one answered, he unlocked the door and stepped inside. The apartment was eerily silent, untouched, but something was wrong. The landlord stepped closer to the wall, eyes widening in horror. There, cast against the floor, was a shadow, Daniel's shadow. But there was no Daniel.